Hey there, I'm Jeff Morneau, the investment advisor with TCG, which is a financial planning partner for Smart Credit Union. As a former educator, I wanted to make some videos of topics that I wish I was aware of when I was a teacher. And today we're going to be covering one of the most common misconceptions surrounding TRS. And that misconception is the difference between the Rule of 80 and the Rule of 90. As an educator, I would hear so many conflicting comments on the Rule of 80 and the Rule of 90. Some of the common phrases I would hear in the teacher's lounge might be, oh, it used to be the Rule of 80 and now it's the Rule of 90, or the Rule of 80 isn't used anymore, or I just started teaching and once I hit the Rule of 80, I'll be able to pull my pension. The fact is, none of these statements are actually correct. So let's settle the score and take a closer look at the Rule of 80 and the Rule of 90. Both the Rule of 80 and the Rule of 90 are targets to a metric that combines your age with your years of service. So let's say someone started teaching at 25 and now they're 50. Well, at 50, they would have 25 years of service. So 50 plus 25, their number would be 75. It's literally that simple. So you might ask yourself, okay, in the previous example, at 75, they would have 5 more years to reach the Rule of 80, right? Incorrect. It's important to remember that each year you pay into TRS should add 2 years towards the Rule of 80 and the Rule of 90, as you're simultaneously getting a year older and a year of service credit. Okay, now that we know that's how it's calculated, let's look at the Rule of 80 first, as the Rule of 80 and the Rule of 90 actually dictate completely different benefits. The Rule of 80 was the original threshold to decide when a TRS member could retire and also simultaneously pull their pension. So someone straight out of college who entered teaching at 24 and was only subjected to the Rule of 80 could in theory retire at age 52 with 28 years of service. However, as with any pension plan, the largest concern is not having the capital guaranteed lifetime payments. Accordingly, over time, TRS has added additional requirements to the Rule of 80 so that the example we just used of someone entering teaching today and being able to retire in their 50s is just no longer an option. So what are these additional requirements? Well, first, it's important to point out that everyone is still subjected to the Rule of 80. The rumor that some are subjected to the Rule of 80 and others are subjected to the Rule of 90 is incorrect. Now I'm going to throw a ton of numbers at you, but it's important to remember that you can always log into your MyTRS to see which tier you are, which I highly suggest you do in order to get the official tier under which you'll be retiring under. If you started teaching prior to September 1st, 2007, then you are what's known as Tier 1 or Tier 2, which means you are only subjected to the Rule of 80. If you began teaching between September 1st, 2007 and August 31st, 2014, then you are Tier 3 or 4, still subjected to the Rule of 80, but you also must be 60 in order to retire and immediately pull your pension. And if you began teaching after August 31st, 2014, then you are Tier 5 or 6, which will extend that additional requirement from 60 to age 62. So you can see that although TRS has been imposing additional restrictions on retiring earlier, those who entered the industry beforehand are grandfathered into the rules that they were subjected to when they entered the industry. It's also worth noting that, practically speaking, many new teachers will hit the Rule of 80 before they turn 62, which is why you may be hearing less about the Rule of 80 and more about that you'll be able to retire at age 62. So if that covers the Rule of 80, then what is the Rule of 90? The Rule of 90 is a threshold you would need to meet in order to qualify for what's known as a PLSO, or partial lump sum option. Now we're going to cover the partial lump sum in greater detail in another video and go over whether it's a good option for you or not. But to quickly summarize the PLSO, it's a lump sum distribution of 12, 24, or 36 months of standard retirement payments. When a PSLO is selected, the member's monthly benefit is reduced to reflect this distribution, which may or may not be a prudent selection for your retirement, so please consult an advisor if you are considering this option. Okay, well there you have it. The Rule of 80 is used to determine when you can retire and simultaneously pull your pension. However, with today's other teaching requirements entering teaching that you have to be 62, most teachers will hit the rule of 80 before they're able to retire, which is why you may hear less about it going forward as well. And the rule of 90 has nothing to do with eligibility to retire, but instead eligibility to pull a lump sum for reduced benefit when they retire. If you have any questions or need guidance, our team is here to assist you. Please visit tcgservices.com/telewealth to book a one-on-one meeting with a retirement plan specialist today. I hope you got some value out of today's video, and stay tuned for more information coming your way.